Hey, good Thursday morning, everybody. It's me for Thursday devotions as we are a week away from Thanksgiving. I do want to send out a special thank you for the church. As echo kindly what Brother Jody was talking about there in his devotion on Monday. Special thanks to Sister Pam, all those who worked to do the dinner, and then just the overall support as an assistant pastor of Mount Olive Church and the blessing that our church family is to us and the blessing it is to serve along with the brothers that we get to serve with in the ministry there. So thankful for that. And so do thank God and very thankful to you all for your support and for your love and your encouragement throughout the year. And then for the good dinner on Sunday. But we want to jump right into our devotion coming from Pastor TJ's sermon on Sunday and greatly enjoyed it. Let me go ahead and start the slideshow here. But I've entitled today's devotion on this Thursday here, Chain Link of Time. And this was actually I guess one of the bullets or one of the highlights of the sermon there that he had in up on the PowerPoint. It says, if God is in it all, it will hold. And then it just got me to thinking on, kind of the message to know God and to make him known. And he talked about in Psalms 90 and how God is eternal. And of course, we see that throughout the Bible. And we saw there where Pastor TJ mentioned that, God has no beginning. He holds it all. He is the beginning. And he has no end. He's eternal. And, when we start looking about that in our life, that's amazing. And Brother TJ was talking about the parade and Brother Ron mentioned that as well. And we just get these snapshots. And so when you start thinking about the chain link of time, I was thinking during the message, I was still paying attention, but I just started thinking about this devotion and what a good object lesson that was of the chain link of time, and how that in Psalms 90, verse 1 and 2 says, Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hast formed the earth of the world, even from everlasting, thou art God. And so we have the chain down here at the bottom, and was going to actually get a chain, but most of mine's greasy and dirty, and Bob frowns upon bringing them into the house here. But when we look at the chain and we see how that our life is one of those links, and my first link, my chain started on July the 22nd, 1971, long time ago. But that's when my chain link, my chain started going. And then, and whether we look at it from year to year and the 51 links that I'd have in my chain, or if we look at it from event to event, or turning point in our life to turning point in our life, whatever it is, if God is in it, and there's a lot of things I can look back in my life and I can truly see God's blessings. I can see how God's grown me in the faith. I can see how that, God has blessed my marriage, how God has blessed my family, how God has blessed, the church. And again, I've mentioned that I'm one of them drug babies. I've been in church my entire life. I was drugged there from an early age, and always been somewhat involved. Started teaching Sunday school for the preteen class at Glay Morgan. Oh, mercy, a long time ago. I was still in high school and was teaching that, and then kind of was a youth leader there for a while. And, but then there's also those times in my life when I wasn't serving the Lord, when I was still playing the part of going to church, but I wasn't serving. I was a spectator, and not growing, and I think about those chains, and I teach to our team all the time about a chain link, that we put 11 people on offense and defense. and special teams, and they have to function as a chain, and we can have 9 of those links to be really strong. But if there's one weak link out there, in other words, if there's one not doing their job, then that chain loses its value. It's not going to hold because it'll break at that weak point. And so, verse 12 says, "So teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom." And so we go back and we think about all these chains in our life and these links, and they've been ones to where, as I said, God had grown me, and there would be areas of my life that I thought was good, that God had grown, and I'd grown in my faith, and, I was maturing as a Christian, and, that's our goal for each and every day. But then there's those times in which the link was not very strong, and you go through things, and, and you learn from them, and I think before it becomes a complete link, God's going to make sure that it's strong enough to hold. And I like that when Brother TJ put that in the title there. He says, chain link of time, if God is in it, it will hold. And truly that's the case. And we go back and we look at it, as we said, we look at our life, and from one chain to the next, how many links ends up in my chain? I don't know. What we're going to go through, I don't know. My chain may never get another link. It could come to an end at any point in time. That's true for all of us. But know this, that if God is in those, if God is in those days of our lives, if God is in those months of our lives and the years of our lives, and each and every day that we have, it's going to hold. And so we got to be careful. I think a lot of times we think as Christians that we get saved, and we kind of get that golden link that's going to get us to heaven, but then we're not careful with what we associate with and our daily walk with the Lord, and we allow other links to maybe try to join in with that chain. And then when the hard times come and life gets difficult, and it feels like our life crumbles because we've allowed ourselves to be attached to things that won't hold. So we know this, we all serve a God, a big G or a little g. There's only one big G that can boast that before the mountains were brought forth, and he brought the mountains forth, or ever thou hast formed the earth or the world, from everlasting to everlasting, he is God. And if he's the one that is working in your life, if he's the one that we're allowing to, take these days, these chain links of our lives and form them together, we can trust him. It's going to last. It's going to be strong, and it's going to hold. So we love you. We pray that you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you in church this Sunday. Brother Jody will be preaching, and we invite everyone to come and be part of what God's doing. We love you. Have a great day.